One of the most popular and least answered questions I've seen about singing high notes is the problems people have with trying to sing them for extended periods of time, or over extended periods of time. Often the case is that someone can sing the flageolet notes only in the morning or late at night, and they'll lose them at other times. And I've had this too. You can see it symbolically represented in my F sharp video, where I work my way up to the F sharp and then try again and can't do it and shut it down. So in the past it was like that. I'd be able to sing those notes for only a short amount of time before my voice would shut down. And I think that now I can actually go on and do more repetitions of the notes than I once could. Also, it seems like the amount of dry heaving and pushing I have to do to get the notes started is not as great as it once was, and you can see a little bit of this difference in my recent flageolet video. I think this is partly because I spent a lot of time working on head voice the last few years, and when I initially made my most popular videos, I was doing almost no head voice practice whatsoever. I would use chest, and I didn't like the sound of head voice. So I wanted to go straight from chest to flageolet, as I call it now, without having to sing anything in between. But it seems to me that, as described in the New York vocal coaching video, which I referred to in the description of my flageolet video, that there are competing muscle groups in singing, and that it's easiest as a beginner to access the flageolet register when the things that you use more often either haven't been warmed up yet or are tired out. So first thing in the morning, especially if you've done something that would shut down your voice previously, like having a very stressful performance the previous night, so you have something that's made you really tense and shut the voice off, then the voice that you normally use is unavailable. When you go to try to sing, then the other muscles kick in and you can hit these unusual notes that you don't usually try to access. The other way is late at night, then, after you've been singing for several hours perhaps, then the muscles you normally use become tired, and that allows the other ones to take over. So some of the ways that might be used to access these normally inaccessible notes would be conditions in your environment that are putting you in a more relaxed state than usual, or a much more tense state than usual. Something that makes you really tense so that the vocal cords that you usually use clamp up, or something that relaxes you unusually so that the more flexible muscles that rely on flexibility to function then can come into play. And it seems to me that if you don't use your competing voice for a while, then it's easier throughout the day at intervals to keep on hitting these squeaky notes. I found that today, that if I don't resort to the more dependable ways, chest and head voice, of producing notes, then I can go on checking in later on the day and finding I can still produce a little bit of squeaking, and hope with any luck, as I've found over time, I'll be able to sing greater repetitions of these notes over greater lengths of time, and with any luck perhaps eventually find a way to produce them more consistently.